Our sustainability report is something we're immensely proud of. The report is completed entirely in-house by a small sustainability team and works towards the GRI G4 reporting guidelines, fully addressing the triple bottom line of sustainability. After researching reports from a variety of different sectors, we decided that we would focus on beginning to align our report to the GRI G4 reporting guidelines, as very few universities, particularly in the UK, use this framework. The whole team was trained in GRI so we could work together to create the report to a high standard, completely in-house. Using GRI G4 as a roadmap, we were able to better engage with our wider stakeholders, starting a valuable two-way dialogue on what we are doing, why we are doing it, the impacts of what we do and where we should be focusing on going forward. GRI provides a structured framework for sustainability reporting, addressing the triple bottom line and prioritising our material aspects. GRI is a globally recognised framework and therefore supports QMUL strategy to place itself in the global market. This reporting framework is process-driven and relates to a 2-year planning schedule, which we are now starting again for 2017-18. We will now explain the process that we adopted to complete our report. The first stage in the process was stakeholder mapping, which was undertaken in April 2015. This involved identifying and mapping both internal and external stakeholder groups based on their interests and influence. This process enabled us to cluster stakeholders together based on their needs and therefore manage them as larger groups. We then targeted key representatives from each group to attend a focus group. In total, we held 6 focus groups with over 50 representatives attending to cover as wide a scope of individuals as possible. We plan on expanding both the number and breadth of stakeholders assessed moving forward to ensure the reporting approach we adopt continues to meet our stakeholders' needs and is appropriate for QMUL. During the focus group sessions, the GRI framework and reporting process at QMUL was introduced and the university's material sustainability aspects were ranked based on their significance and QMUL's influence on them. Stakeholders were also asked to score each material aspect based on both the impact and the influence on QMUL. Scores were then plotted on a scatter graph to highlight the levels of prioritisation within each stakeholder group. The locations on the scatter graphs were then converted into a numerical score, with results being weighted based on the number of attendees at each session. The results of this materiality assessment were then categorised into 4 priority areas, ranked from 1 to 4, with economic in red, environmental in green and social in blue. Stakeholder engagement to date informed the report's materiality and will drive a more extensive cycle of stakeholder engagement in 2015-16. We split the report into economic, environmental and social sustainability, which we will now cover in more detail.
QMUL's core strategy includes a commitment to financial resilience and efficiency in all areas. Research conducted across all 3 of our faculties make an essential contribution to many of the pressing social, cultural, economic and environmental questions of our time. Much of our research has commercial potential and we actively seek ways to bring it to the market to help ensure our work has a meaningful social and economic impact. Queen Mary Innovation Limited is our technology transfer company, responsible for the commercialisation and management of the university's intellectual property and portfolio of spin-out companies. An example of a project that QMI helped fund is the development of a new smartphone app called Warbler. This app can record birdsong and identify the species. The university's biggest budget is the energy budget, which amounts to approximately £6 million per year. Therefore, it is essential that we can identify all areas where we can bring this cost down. Challenges that the university faces in regards to reducing costs are sometimes outside of our control. For example, QMUL partakes in the CRC Energy Efficiency Scheme, which included a rise of £4.40 in the cost per tonne of carbon. So although our carbon footprint decreased, the overall CRC cost actually rose. As a large public sector organisation with significant energy needs, QMUL can be particularly vulnerable to hikes in energy prices. To reduce this risk, QMUL adopted a flexible energy procurement model in 2014 for electricity and gas. This switch to a flexible model has resulted in a $530,000 efficiency saving for electricity and $50,000 for gas, just in the first year. Moving to a flexible contract meant we could also switch to a green electricity tariff, so the money we invest in energy goes towards green forms of electricity generation, rather than fossil fuels.
Now, on to environmental sustainability, a fundamental part of our sustainability report. QMUL has an ambitious absolute carbon reduction target of 34% in Scope 1 and 2 emissions by 2020. This equates to a reduction in emissions of 15,634 tonnes of CO2 equivalent by 2020 based on the 2005-6 baseline. Given the expected growth of the university and change in carbon conversion factors, this represents a significant challenge. However, when growth is taken into account in regards to income and student numbers, we have made substantial steps to meeting the target. We don't just focus on Scope 1 and 2 emissions, we also make steps to reduce our impact in regards to fleet fuel, procurement and water emissions. We have already met our targets for carbon reduction associated with fleet fuel use and procurement, and we are on track to meet our reduction target in emissions associated with water of 30%. We have also made significant steps to reduce our waste to landfill by implementing campaigns such as the Halls Reuse campaign, where we encourage students to donate unwanted household items for reuse, the annual stationery amnesty, where we collect unused items and relocate them to other students, battery recycling, book donations, and donating abandoned bikes on campus to Recycle Your Cycle. To support QMUL in achieving its carbon reduction targets, a number of capital projects were completed in 2014-15 to save energy. These included the installation of solar panels on the roof of our main library building on the Mile End campus. These solar panels generate approximately 30,000 kilowatt hours a year, which equates to an annual reduction of 18 tonnes of CO2 equivalent. We also strive to promote and enhance the use of sustainable transport where possible. In May 2015, QMUL held its annual Bike Week to promote the benefits of cycling to staff and students. Events included smoothie bikes, cycle security marking and maintenance, and cycle safety training.
But perhaps the most important part of our report is the social sustainability section. This is the part of our report that we think really sets us apart from other universities. At QMUL, we have a strong engagement campaign which aims to increase participation in regards to not only staff and students, but also the wider community. We have slowly become more autonomous in our activities, and the majority of our sustainability programmes now come under the internal branding of Green Mary. Our engagement activities range from engaging staff in reducing the environmental impact within their departments through the Green Mary Staff Workbook to encouraging students to compete within their halls to reduce their energy use. We also hold several events throughout the year such as Green Mary Day and Week, Fair Trade Fortnight and Cycle Week, where we hold fun activities to encourage students to get involved in various sustainability activities. Another initiative we have launched is the Green Mary Garden, which includes a medicinal and sensory garden, as well as allotment plots. The garden is used to engage both staff and students, as well as the wider community, through widening participation. This programme aims to engage and inspire pupils from local state schools. The percentage of state school pupils studying at QMUL has increased to 86.6% of the student body, the strongest performance in the whole Russell Group. The university also hopes to inspire young people through initiatives such as the outreach programme, the Centre of the Cell, Lego Physics and the use of a life-size cast of a Tyrannosaurus Rex skull, all as an educational tool. Other social contributions also include engaging with the local community through conservation and research. An example of this is the Griffin Community Trust, which promotes integration between QMUL medical and dental students and elderly East London residents. QMUL also strongly advocates volunteering and fundraising. In 2014-15, 877 individuals volunteered their time and £67,000 was raised for good causes. These good causes included Noah's Ark Children's Hospice, the Royal National Institute of the Blind and Leukemia and Lymphoma Research. We also offer opportunities for students such as volunteering and work experience. These opportunities include becoming an energy saving ambassador or Green Mary project assistant, as well as a chance for students to meet environmental professionals during Careers Week. We're committed to maintaining a community of equal opportunity at QMUL as part of Stonewall Diversity Champion programme, helping employers promote equality for the LGBT community. In addition, we hold an overall Athena Swan Bronze accreditation for equality, run a B-Mentor mentoring scheme for academic and research staff from BME backgrounds, provide facilities for our staff and students from different faiths, and also provide adjustments to disabled colleagues.
This video, like the report, was completed entirely in-house by the sustainability team.
Whilst our report is not yet fully aligned to the GRI G4 requirements, we are on a journey towards compliance and we hope to achieve it this year.